Black Sabbath right here on your Classic Metal Show with Lady Evil. Classic.
Yeah, it is.
Now you sound like Chris Aiken.
Now I'm here, bitches.
Yeah, you don't sound all garbly.
Yeah, that's weird, because I literally rebooted everything right at like 8:55, so weird.
Yeah. All right, well, you sound like you're supposed to now.
All right, good.
All right. So, I made some plans today.
Okay.
I booked a plane ticket to Los Angeles.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I am going out to the NAMM show.
Look at you.
I have spoken with Bob Nalbandian today.
Okay.
And he is doing some interviews with some thrash bands.
Okay.
During the NAMM show, and he's going to be talking to Death Angel, Exodus, Testament, because he's doing the San Francisco thrash scene documentary.
Very cool.
So all these guys are going to be there.
Awesome.
So he's invited me to tag along.
Look at you, Mr. Player.
Yeah. So I will be going to the NAMM show the third week in January.
All right. Awesome.
So that should be good.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Hopefully, you'll be doing the show with a co-host.
Hopefully.
Well, you could have done one last week, but we both chose to take the week off.
Yeah, no, I'll do one.
Because apparently the big time, the best time for the NAMM show.
Yeah.
The NAMM show ends at 6:00 each evening, and then the after parties Friday and Saturday are the time to be hanging.
All right. Well, so yeah, I'll if nothing else, I'll sit here and play tunes until you call in. That's fine.
Right. So that's kind of the plan. So I plan on being out there, and hopefully I'll be able to kind of do what I did back in September, the first part of September, during that Farm Rock thing.
Okay.
And,
yeah, sounds great.
Get some people on the phone and shoot the shit and find out what's happening in the world of metal.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good, man.
So that's the plan.
Look at you, Mr. Player.
No, I'm not the player. It's just last week when I was hanging out with Don.
Yeah.
He said, come stay at my house.
All right.
I said, all right. He says, I'm going to NAMM this year. He says, I'm going to do some promo stuff and, work with some, some gear people. So
right.
Why don't you just come on out and stay at the house and go to NAMM?
Yeah, if your only expense is fucking a plane ticket, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no kidding. So that's the plan, my friend.
Awesome. Very cool.
So I'm looking forward to that and get out of the January cold here. I don't know. So far, we've been very lucky with the mild weather.
Right. But
there's nothing like being in L.A. in the middle of January when everybody isn't back in the East freezing their balls off.
Yeah, no shit.
So anyway, so that's the plan. So the 23rd, Saturday the 23rd, will be the day I'm out in LA, and I will do a live remote.
All right, I will start recruiting.
So you got an opportunity to try to corral somebody to step into the mic.
Someone will do it.
I'm sure they will.
Now, do it well. That's another story. But
yeah, that is another story. But so
sober enough to do it, that's another issue.
Look at Sammy Lee. Say hey to Eddie Van Halen for me at NAMM.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure Eddie will be just hanging out talking to people.
Yeah. Well, he might.
Yeah, he might.
Because it is very limited.
Right.
It's just industry people who are there. It's not like the general public will be able to meander around.
Sure. So do you have to like get credentials or any of that?
Oh,
shit?
yeah,
or
absolutely.
Is that something we need to deal with later or what?
No, I don't have to get them for myself. Don is going to get it for me, but yes, you got to have credentials to go.
All right, very cool.
Mm-hmm. So it's not like you can just buy a pass and just walk in there.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Do we have to do something on this end? Or
no. It's already taken care of.
Okay, good. Sounds great.
All taken care of.
Sweet.
All right. So anyway, what's new in the world of pinball heaven?
I don't know. We're still going. I mean, we're doing well. We've had a couple of pretty solid weeks in a row. That's about it.
That's it. Boy, you've been kind of laying low. I know you finished your book, right?
I did finish my book. That is probably my biggest news of the minute, is that I finished writing it. My friend Carolyn is editing it. So it's so far the changes that have come back have been nothing that I, am upset about. It's just little simple shit, punctuation and stuff like that, which to me was a failing in little victories. I just wasn't real thrilled with how it read. 6 months later when I'd look back, I was like, man, this is all fucked up. But it's being edited right now. Cover's almost done, so I'm told. And it looks like it's going to be out in February. So, but it is completely written, 26 chapters.
Wow, look at you.
Big book.
All right. Sounds, of course, all I know of the book is, the little snippets that you've thrown out there online. So, I'm looking forward to reading it.
Well, it's about as happy as Little Victories.
Well, it doesn't have to be a happy story all the time. I mean, it's real life.
Yeah, it's definitely not super up. I'll say that, but I think people dig it. Carolyn, who's editing the book, she's been reading it, because she doesn't really know the full story either. And she said that it's basically it's really compelling, and it's like one of those lure you in type things, which is kind of what I think I did with Victories too. So, it's hard. It's hard to explain it because I'm too close to it. All the stories to me seem boring because I lived them, and they were 20 years ago. But, people that are hearing some of the stories, and you've heard some of it too, are like, holy fuck, you've been through some shit.
Right.
So, I mean, we'll see. And again, it's kind of like Victories in that if I sell the one that sits on my shelf, I'm happy. The rest of it is all good. But there is some talk about doing other shit with it. So, I have got a literary agent working it right now, and we'll see where that goes, or if I'm just spending more money to spend more money. But, yeah, I mean, it's too early to get excited about it, other than I'm excited to not have to write it anymore.
Okay.
It was definitely a drain on me for the last couple of months.
Sure.
But all done. It'll be in your little hands soon enough.
All right. Excellent. Sounds great. All right. Well, coming up here in about 10 minutes, a guy who has his own tales to tell is Joe Kleon. Now, tell us a little bit about Joe that maybe people don't know, and kind of fill us in on what this guy's credentials are, and sure, what he's done, and how do you know him, and all these kind of things.
Sure. Well, I know Joe. I think I met Joe way back in the radio days. Joe used to be on the radio as well. Joe was on commercial radio and did some radio there, and I think that's when I met Joe originally. And he's one of those guys that's in the Bill Peters camp.
Sure. Now he used to be on that Canton rock station, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
What is that? WXRK or something like that?
XRKONE something. I don't remember which one, but he could tell us. But he did that for a while, and he at some point he transitioned to doing photos as well, and he's really kind of risen as far as being a concert photographer, and he's pretty much the preeminent guy here in Cleveland. He's had his he takes almost basically for Scene Magazine, which is the weekly rag that they have in this town. He is the guy that takes all the pictures that are in there for shows. And then all the big shows, the bigger concerts, the Plain Dealer, which is the daily paper, the big newspaper in town, they use his pictures. So, and he's had artists that have used them on their websites and, as promotion, and he's really risen as like this major hitter as far as photography goes, at least in this area. So, he's got a lot, but he's like me. He's fucking a bitter fuck like me. You know, and he doesn't pull any punch. Very much like me, he pulls no punches.
Right.
I don't think we're going to have to worry about pulling too hard to get him to tell stories.
Sure.
But yeah, he's highly regarded photographer, and he takes great photos. And it was one of those things. He reached out to me this week and was like, would you be able to give me 5 minutes on the show to plug my website? Because he's, like I said, he's selling prints and stuff. And he's had art shows and stuff. I went and actually bought a piece of art at one of his art shows. But he does do these showings for his art, for his concert photography, and they're really, really good. He like I said, he's selling some of the stuff for Christmas. If anybody wants their if they want to see if they've got some of their favorite stuff. So I was like, I was like, you can come on, but you can't do 5 minutes because we don't do 5-minute anything.
Sure.
And I was like, I'd like to share some of this concert fiasco shit that I see going on with these photos, because I see it just kind of, I see it somewhat through Joe, but I see it through a lot of my friends that are in the photography world, and they're just getting fucked by these bands or management or whomever. I'll let him explain who, but they're really making it to where it's not like I don't know if I had to explain it the way I see it, and I'll let Joe explain it, but the way I see it, they're really kind of devaluing what good concert photography is. And they're so the artists are so devaluing it to where it's not worth anything more than a guy with his fucking iPhone popping off a shot and throwing it on Facebook.
Absolutely.
And that's not right. Just like we always say about the bands, about downloading their music illegally or whatnot is kind of shitty. It's the same thing with these guys. They're contracted to go out and take these photos. They take the photos, and then the artists don't want to let them use the photos, want them to pay to keep their own photos. It's all kinds of different stupid shit. And I just thought, it's a different side of the business. Kind of like when we brought Ken Barr on the show.
Right.
It's a different side of the business that we can maybe talk about and share, and people are either going to like it or they'll react like they did to our good friend Jasmine and hate us.
Right. Absolutely. Well, speaking of Jasmine, I've been chit-chatting with her via the Twitter today.
Bet you have now that you're going out to L.A.
And she, of course, wanted to know, when can I come back on?
She can come back on whenever she wants.
That's basically what I told her. I said, you got carte blanche. You can come on anytime.
And it's funny, though. A lot of the fans did not like her.
Did they not like her? Did they not like your segment?
They didn't like her.
Really?
Yeah. They said that she's the quote that I heard over and over again was she's an L.A. snob.
Really?
Yeah, she's a very L.A. snob.
Okay.
And I'm like, whatever. I've tried to tell everybody a couple of times that, I did kind of hold it back a little bit. We can't go full bore at her the first fucking time she's on the show.
Absolutely. Well, she seemed to enjoy her time on the show, and she's asked to come back on again. And I was just like, you can come on anytime you want.
It's like anything else, dude. The show's about me and you.
Right.
If we enjoy you can come on. If we don't, you can't. And
right.
Even when I don't, you still bring them on, like John Rufo.
Right.
You let him keep coming on, and I hate that fuck.
Really? Do you really hate him?
No, I don't really hate him, but
I didn't think so.
I'll tell you when I do hate him, on his 6th drunk call of the night.
Well, that's when people start getting a little annoyed.
That's when I wish him nothing but death.
Right.
But, just like Tim James. A lot of people don't like Tim.
That's
but
true.
I do.
I like Tim.
Yeah. And that's all of it. A lot of people don't like Doghouse.
That's true as well.
But I do and you do.
Right.
That's all that matters.
Exactly.
So.
It's a mixed bag.
Yeah. Deal with it. If we did everything that everybody liked, it'd be fucking every other dumb show out there.
Exactly. All right. Well, Joe is coming up here in about 5 minutes.
All right.
So I thought the only perfect song to play for Joe would be Def Leppard.
Def Leppard? He's going to shoot you.
Photograph.
Well, you can go there. That'll work.
Works for me.
Yeah, it works.
All right. Well, Joe's coming up here in about 4 minutes or so. So, stick around. Joe Kleon coming up. So here's some Def Leppard. Photograph exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.